EU fishermen fear the next nail in the coffin as British negotiators threaten to walk away from post-Brexit trade talks. EU fishermen are facing yet more bad news this week, as Brussels decides the annual fishing quotas for 2021. Next year's quotas are set to be severely restricted, prompting fears among European trawlers. Every year in mid-October the EU determines the catch quotas for the coming year. Tonight the EU agriculture ministers will negotiate the Baltic Sea catch quotas for 2021. The EU Commission has proposed significant changes, which has been met with firm resistance from EU fishermen. The changes, based on scientific reports published at the end of August, would see huge changes to quotas on cod and herring. The report states as cod remains a highly endangered species, the 2021 catch will have to be reduced. This comes after the 2020 quota was also drastically reduced. The EU is expected to sign off on plans to reduce catch in the western Baltic Sea by 11%, and by a whopping 70% in the eastern Baltic Sea. European fishermen have heavily condemned the proposals, and argue such a move effectively stops trawlers from catching cod. Norbert Kalfas from the Regional Association of Cutter and Coastal Fishermen, said, "In principle, this is a ban on cod fishing. But the low quota is only intended for the inevitable bycatches of cod, which is where fishermen unintentionally catch a certain species of fish. Often bycatches are unwanted and end up being discarded and thrown back into the sea, even once they are already dead." The EU proposals could also see herring quotas reduced dramatically. Only half as much as herring should be caught in the western Baltic Sea in 2021 as this year and 36% less in the central Baltic Sea, according to the proposals. Mr. Kalfas said, "For the fishermen this is the next nail in the coffin. One area of the EU is permitted to increase its herring catch, but only in the Gulf of Riga." Ralf Krell, a fisherman in Stallbrod, Germany, said the new quota would mean that instead of 8 tons of herring, he would only be allowed to catch 4 tons. He said, "It's next to nothing." The changes to fishing quotas comes after Boris Johnson threatened to walk away from EU trade talks on Friday, after the two sides failed to reach an agreement by his deadline.